Hitting the ground before the golf ball has to be one of the most soul-destroying shots in golf, right? Today, I have such a quick, simple tip about clearing this lead shoulder that's going to get you that ball turf strike we're really looking for. Right, that might be me done. I don't want to hit another shot. I can't hit much better than that. Today, we're going to be talking about stopping that heavy shot. It's such a destructive, soul-destroying shot. We want to get that ball turf strike, don't we? If we can hit it crisp, if we can get the right distance, we know we're not always going to hit the target line. But if we can be pin high, we're going to leave ourselves a lot more chances. So today is all about quality of contact. And I'm going to share with you perhaps the #1 reason why you're going to strike the ground before the ball and what we can do to fix it. And we're going to be focusing on the role of the lead shoulder. So for me as a right-handed golfer, that is my left shoulder. In the backswing, but we're going to really be discussing the downswing, but in the backswing, the lead shoulder should move down and in front of my chin as my trail shoulder moves up and behind me. So we're rotating around our spine angle. In the downswing movement, the start of the downswing, the lead shoulder should move a little bit further down and a little bit forward. So you can see that. What does that do? It's getting that pressure towards my lead side. As my lead shoulder works down here, you can see my arms start to drop as well. And I'm able to maintain my spine angle. If my lead shoulder went up straight away, you can see the effect that's having on my spine angle, right? It's getting me to straighten, stand up out of posture too early. So the lead shoulder at the start of the downswing should move a little bit down and a little bit forwards towards that lead leg, okay, to help that pressure move into that lead side. Now, our lowest point, and this is the part that a lot of golfers don't believe, our lowest part of our handle position, our hands, is here at P6. When the club is parallel to the ground, that is the lowest point of my handle. My hand should now be moving up into impact. And a lot of golfers would say, oh, you top it because of that. You don't. You 100% don't. That's the lowest point of the handle. The reason the club is still moving down is I've got to allow down cocking of wrists. So that means the club is moving down, but my handle is actually moving up into impact. And that's part of the reason we start to see this lead side straightening and extending. So golfers who are struggling with heavy shots are often trying to hit down, 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 and this lead shoulder hasn't gone upwards. The handle hasn't gone upwards enough into impact. So bad strikes often come from down, down, down this way. We've got to get this lead shoulder moving up. If, however, it just moved up with no real rotation, so if I was hitting towards this face on camera here now, if my lead shoulder went up, you would see that my trail shoulder moves down. I create a hell of a lot of side bend here, and I likely to hit the ground before the ball because it feels like my pressure's on my back foot. So not only does this lead shoulder need to move up, but it needs to rotate. So my focus point of the golf swing is going to be left shoulder, up and left for me as a right-handed golfer. Up and left, okay? So it's rising and rotating, and that's the movement I want. And as this starts to rise and rotate, you would see that my lead leg starts to do that as well. So I'm not going to get this to the green. I'm just going to do a chippy one. This is a great exercise for you. Stop at the top. Get that feeling at the start of the downswing, lead shoulder down and forwards into that delivery position. From here, up and left. So that's gone actually a really long way, into greenside bunker there, 142, from a very small movement, which actually shows you how powerful this move can be as well through the golf ball. So there's a couple of reasons for that. One, there's rotational speed. So as my lead shoulder is starting to rise and rotate, my body, torso and hips are rotating. We can definitely generate more speed from there. The same way as throwing a ball like that or throwing a ball like that, this one's going to generate a ton more speed, a ton more power, right? We're also using some of those vertical forces. So as my lead shoulder is rising, you can see my lead leg here is starting to straighten. Big power source pushing off the ground. That's definitely what we want to see. There's a third power source, and I won't get too technical, but actually if our hands are reaching their lowest point of the golf swing here, and they're now moving up into impact, the club head will actually be accelerating to try and catch up with the club head. So we're utilizing or maximizing our power sources with this movement. The purpose of the video is really to stop the heavy strike. But if we can gain speed at the same time, why wouldn't we? At the start of the downswing, I don't need to personally worry about the lead shoulder down and forwards. But if you are someone who is losing posture at the start of the downswing, coming up and out of posture, definitely get that sensation of that lead shoulder moving down and forwards at the start of the downswing. And maybe you'd work on that part first before you start to focus on clearing that lead shoulder on the way through. Personally, I don't tend to get open enough at impact, so I don't really rotate my body well enough. This is a movement I really need, and this is a great focus point for me about that lead shoulder. Let's see if I can hit a full one, take those feels to a full shot. So down and forwards, up and left. Pretty happy with that one. Nearly catching the edge of the green. Again, right sort of distance, missing it pin high, so I'm getting some consistency of strike there in delivery, aren't I? And that's the big thing that amateur golfers struggle with. In terms of a drill, I wouldn't go too crazy. You could use a club, you could use a stick. If I had a golf ball on the ground, I would try and get the sensation at the start of the downswing, I was almost spearing the golf ball, so my lead shoulder moving down and forwards. It's actually going to point a little bit in front of the golf ball, but it's still pointing down. If I came up and out of posture, you could see how high this is rising. So down and forwards, and then let's try and get this tall stick clearing. And as my lead shoulder goes up and rotates, what's my trail shoulder do? It's almost moving down to collect the golf ball. So I do that, and I do some of those slow pace ones like I demonstrated at the start, where it's down and forward, stop into that delivery, little pump move, and hit, really focusing on that lead shoulder. Let's finish with, hopefully, one more good swing. So I hope that video helps. I hope it clears up that movement of the lead shoulder. If it does and it has helped you, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more free content just like this. Right now, YouTube are also suggesting the next video of mine that's relevant to you. The link is just here. Click on it and check it out.